Greetings, history enthusiasts. Welcome back to our channel. Today we're setting off on a fascinating journey back in time, delving into the mysteries of the fall of the Roman Empire. Once the most powerful force in the world, the Roman Empire spanned continents and centuries, leaving an indelible mark on the course of civilization. But as we all know, even the mightiest of empires can fall. However, the fall of Rome was not the immediate implosion many envision. Instead, it was a gradual decline that spanned years, even centuries. The empire didn't just topple overnight. It was eroded by a myriad of socio-political, economic, and military factors that chipped away at its foundations. Contrary to popular belief, the fall of Rome wasn't a sudden collapse but a gradual decline marked by various socio-political, economic, and military factors. One of the key factors contributing to Rome's decline was economic strain and overextension. As the Roman Empire expanded across continents, its resources were stretched to the limit. This immense territorial expansion led to the overextension of resources, which in turn triggered a series of economic problems. The empire was spending more than it could afford on maintaining its vast territories, military forces, and administrative structures. This financial burden was passed on to the citizens in the form of increased taxation. Unfortunately, these high taxes did not result in better services or security for the Roman people, but rather fed the lavish lifestyles of the elite, causing widespread frustration and resentment. In addition to this, Rome was plagued by inflation. The empire's monetary system was based on gold and silver, but as the empire grew, so did its expenses. To meet these increasing costs, the Romans began to debase their currency, reducing the amount of gold or silver in each coin. This led to rampant inflation, making goods and services more expensive and further straining the economy. Meanwhile, Rome's agrarian economy, which was the backbone of its wealth, was also in decline. As the empire expanded, large estates, known as latifundia, became more prevalent. These estates were often worked by slaves, leading to the displacement of small farmers who couldn't compete. The decline of these small farms disrupted the agrarian economy, leading to food shortages and further economic instability. The reliance on slave labor was another factor that contributed to Rome's economic woes. While slavery might have provided a short-term economic boost, it also stifled innovation and technological advancement. After all, why invest in new farming techniques or machinery when you have an abundant supply of cheap labor? In conclusion, the economic strain and overextension were significant factors in the decline of the Roman Empire. The reliance on slave labor and the decline of small farms also disrupted the agrarian economy, further exacerbating financial woes. Political instability and corruption plagued the later years of the Roman Empire. The emperors, who were supposed to be the pillars of strength and stability, were often embroiled in deadly power struggles. Their positions were consistently threatened by ambitious generals, scheming politicians, and even members of their own families. This resulted in a high turnover of rulers, some of whom were barely in power long enough to leave a mark. Unfortunately, many who ascended to the throne lacked the leadership skills necessary to guide the empire through its myriad of challenges. Their inability to effectively manage the empire's vast territories and diverse populations often exacerbated the problems Rome was facing. The lack of strong leadership was a significant contributor to the empire's decline, as it created a power vacuum that was often filled by those with nefarious intentions. Alongside this political instability, corruption was rife within the empire's institutions. Bureaucrats were known to abuse their power for personal gain, leading to widespread resentment among the citizens. The judicial system was not exempt from this either. The scales of justice were often tipped in favor of those who could afford to pay the highest bribes, undermining the rule of law and further eroding the public's trust in the system. This rampant corruption extended to the military as well. Unscrupulous generals were known to loot the provinces they were supposed to protect, and soldiers could buy promotions, leading to a decline in military discipline and morale. This not only weakened Rome's ability to defend itself against external threats, but also made it more susceptible to internal conflicts. In essence, political instability and corruption created a toxic environment that hindered effective governance. The constant power struggles and rampant corruption eroded public trust in the empire's institutions, leading to social unrest and a weakening of the empire's unity. This, in turn, made the empire more vulnerable to external threats and economic crises, setting the stage for its eventual fall. Corruption and bureaucracy hindered effective governance, eroding trust in the empire's institutions and weakening its unity. The Roman Empire faced relentless pressure from barbarian invasions and military decline. As the sun set on the golden age of Rome, shadows of external threats grew increasingly ominous. The empire's borders, once a symbol of Rome's expansive reach and formidable power, began to buckle under the weight of relentless invasions. On the empire's frontier, the barbarian tribes, a collective term for a variety of cultures and peoples, were not new adversaries. They had been a part of the Roman narrative for centuries. However, the dynamics were shifting. Where once Rome assimilated or dominated these tribes, now they were becoming a force the empire could no longer contain. Key players in this narrative were the Visigoths and Vandals, among others. The Visigoths, initially allies of Rome, turned into formidable foes after suffering mistreatment and exploitation. In an event that shook the Roman world to its core, they famously sacked Rome in 410 AD, an event that hadn't occurred for over 800 years. The Vandals, another barbarian tribe, followed suit, crossing the Rhine into Roman territory in the early 5th century. They carved a path of destruction through Western Europe, culminating in the sack of Rome in 455 AD. Parallel to these external threats was a steady internal decay, the decline of Rome's military might. The Roman legions, once the envy of the ancient world, were stretched thin across vast territories. Declining resources, coupled with political instability, led to a weakened military structure. The reliance on foreign mercenaries, who had little loyalty to Rome, further undermined the strength and integrity of the Roman military. In essence, the fall of Rome was not a singular event, but rather a complex tapestry woven with threads of economic strain, political instability, military decline, and relentless barbarian invasions. Barbarian tribes, such as the Visigoths and Vandals, seized upon weaknesses in Roman defenses, sacking cities and further destabilizing the empire's borders. Cultural and social shifts also played a role in Rome's unraveling. As the empire expanded, it absorbed a diverse mix of cultures and religions, ultimately leading to a significant transformation of the traditional Roman way of life. One of the most profound changes was the rise of Christianity. At the dawn of the 1st century, Christianity was but a small sect in the vast Roman Empire. However, by the 4th century, it had grown into a dominant force, challenging the established Roman pantheon and fundamentally altering the cultural landscape of the empire. As Christianity spread, it introduced new moral values and ethical codes that clashed with the traditional Roman virtues of valor, honor, and strength. The transformation from a pagan society to a Christian one was not without friction, often leading to societal tension and discord. Parallel to these cultural shifts were profound social changes. The Roman Empire, in its heyday, was characterized by extreme wealth disparity. A small, privileged elite enjoyed the fruits of the empire's prosperity, while the majority of the population, the poor and the slaves, lived in abject poverty. This stark divide between the haves and the have-nots led to social unrest and resentment, further destabilizing the empire from within. Moreover, the erosion of the traditional Roman values of public service and civic duty, replaced by a culture of self-interest and corruption, intensified the social divide. The wealthy elite, engrossed in their pursuit of power and luxury, often disregarded the welfare of the common people. This negligence fostered discontent and disillusionment among the masses, eroding the cohesion and unity that once defined Roman society. In the end, the cultural and social shifts in the Roman Empire, from the rise of Christianity to the widening gap between the rich and the poor, played a significant part in its decline. The growing divide between the wealthy elite and the impoverished masses fueled social unrest and discontent, undermining the social fabric of Roman society. The fall of the Roman Empire marked the end of an era, but its legacy continues to shape the world today. Despite the empire's collapse, its indelible imprint on society remains. From the principles of Roman law that underpin legal systems worldwide, to the Latin language enriching our linguistic tapestry, and the architectural marvels that inspire modern design, Rome's influence is pervasive. The empire's downfall serves as a poignant reminder of the potential consequences of economic strain, political instability, and social discord. From its enduring contributions to law, language, and architecture, to the lessons learned from its downfall, Rome's influence echoes through the annals of history. In conclusion, the fall of the Roman Empire was a multifaceted phenomenon driven by a convergence of factors. Economic strain, political corruption, military decline, and cultural shifts all played their parts. These events serve as a poignant reminder of the ebb and flow of civilizations, highlighting the importance of understanding our past to navigate the present. Thank you for joining me on this enlightening journey. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more exploration into the fascinating world of history.